Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today, I read an article on Fool.com written by Matt Frankel, CFP, titled, "Here's What Life Will Look Like If You Retire with $500,000 in the Bank." I'll include a link to the article in the description below. I encourage you to read the full article to support the author and news source. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of this article that are of public interest. According to the article, with a $500,000 nest egg, this means you would be able to sustainably create a $20,000 income stream in retirement. But will this be enough? The article goes on to indicate, while $20,000 per year may not sound like a ton of income to collect from your investments, your savings isn't likely to be the only form of income you have. At a minimum, virtually all retired workers collect Social Security benefits, and as of August 2023, the average retired worker Social Security benefit is $1,792.37 per month, or approximately $21,500 per year. If you collect this, and especially if you're married and both spouses get a monthly benefit, it could be enough to live on if you have $500,000 saved. In my opinion, this all comes down to your expenses. If someone is living in a coastal region in a metropolitan area where rent is extremely expensive, someone like this may struggle to be able to live off of $20,000 per year being generated from the $500,000 in retirement savings, plus whatever that individual and his or her spouse is receiving from Social Security. Now, this might be completely different if someone is living in a more rural area where properties are inexpensive and someone has a property that is paid off completely. If that property is energy efficient with low property taxes and low insurance, that individual might be able to survive just fine on $500,000 that is generating $20,000 per year in income, plus whatever is received from Social Security. The debts that people have once they reach retirement age also need to be taken into consideration. Some people may still have car payments. Some people may still have credit card debt or even student loan debt. Yes, that's right. There are some people who reach retirement age and still have student loan debt. What a lot of people don't realize is that delinquent student loan debt can actually be garnished from Social Security. Health is another consideration. If someone is incredibly healthy once they retire, they may not need as much money. If someone is incredibly unhealthy and someone may need a lot of elective procedures not covered by Medicare, someone like this might need a lot more money on an annual basis. We also have to take into consideration what someone wants to do when he or she reaches retirement age. Some people are content with gardening in the backyard, watching television, sitting on the porch and waving at the neighbors as they drive by. Some other people would be bored to death. They want to go out to trendy restaurants to see and be seen. Some people enjoy taking vacations on a regular basis. Some people feel as though they are entitled to a new vehicle every couple years. Some people want to visit their children or grandchildren around the United States. Some people like to pursue a lot of expensive hobbies. People like this might struggle to live off of Social Security plus the $20,000 being generated off the $500,000 in a retirement account. There's something else that we need to consider. If someone is retiring this year in 2023 with $500,000 in retirement savings, which is generating $20,000 annually in income when applying the 4% rule, that individual may be able to survive just fine with that plus Social Security in the event this individual has a modest lifestyle. 30 years from now, in the year 2053, $500,000 generating $20,000 annually when applying the 4% rule is not going to have the same purchasing power. Inflation is going to erode the purchasing power of that $20,000 30 years from today. This article goes on to indicate there are also other potential income sources, such as pensions, annuities, and rental income. I think this author is being a bit optimistic here. There are a lot of individuals that will never have a pension. Pensions are going away. They are a thing of the past unless you are a federal worker, a state worker, a policeman, a firefighter, or perhaps a school teacher. With regard to annuities, a lot of individuals don't have the money to purchase an annuity. The fact is, a lot of individuals here in the United States of America have no retirement savings at all. With regard to rental income, sure, there are people who are fortunate to own rental properties, and they will receive a steady stream of income from those rental properties during retirement. But with the way real estate has been recently, a lot of people will never be able to become a landlord. They will never be able to save up the amount of money necessary for the down payment. And even if they could, some people do not have the management skills to be able to effectively manage rental properties. Rental properties are often considered a passive investment. Let me tell you, there is nothing passive about being a landlord if you are doing it well. I have so many landlord horror stories that I could share with you, and I have in some of the previous videos here on the channel. Sometimes tenants are like little children. They are very needy. They require a lot of time and attention, and they don't always take care of your property well. In my opinion, you need to be boots on the ground, regularly checking on your rental properties, making sure that the tenants are not doing things they are not supposed to do. You need to be constantly looking for items that need to be repaired. You also need to be aggressively marketing your properties so that you can secure the best tenants possible and make sure that you do not have any vacancies that could throw a wrench in your cash flow model. I know there are some YouTubers out there that talk about how you can become rich buying rental properties, but not everyone can do this. There are some people that are just not cut out to be a landlord. In my opinion, being a landlord is not a get-rich-quick scheme by any means. This article goes on to indicate many retirement planners say you'll need about 80% of your pre-retirement income to sustain your lifestyle after you retire. And while this can certainly vary based on your unique situation, it can help you assess where you stand. This is quite scary to me because there are a lot of individuals here in the United States of America who will never be able to save enough money in their retirement accounts to ever generate 80% of their salary. The grim reality is there are a lot of everyday Americans who have no retirement savings at all. And there are a lot of everyday Americans who have very little saved for retirement. Just look at what is going on in the world today. Rent is sky high. A lot of people are barely scraping by. Some people can barely cobble together enough money each month to pay their rent and utilities and put food on the table, especially since grocery prices have gone up so much in the past few years. Many Americans have not seen their wages keep pace with inflation. There are a lot of Americans who are not earning enough to be able to cover all of their expenses. Many are relying on credit cards just to survive, which may be one reason why we now have over $1 trillion in credit card debt here in the United States of America, the highest ever on record. The average new vehicle price here in America is approximately $48,000, and used vehicle prices aren't much better these days. Because the Federal Reserve hiked their Fed funds rate 11 times, interest rates for vehicle loans are sky high as well. Many individuals are struggling just to make their vehicle payments in addition to making their rent payments. The fortunate Americans who are homeowners are struggling to stay in those homes because the cost of maintenance has increased. Their property taxes have also increased as their assessed values have risen in the past few years. Many homeowners have also seen their insurance premiums increase in recent years. Some individuals can no longer afford to live in their homes. Many of these individuals are going to be put in a situation where they have to list their home in this higher interest rate environment. Some may have a good amount of equity and they may be able to walk away from the closing table with money in their pocket. Others may barely break even, especially if they purchased in the past few years at the top of the market. Individuals with children are put in a situation where they now have to pay a lot of money for daycare. Some of these individuals are struggling just to pay for daycare so that they can go to work during the day. I was talking with an individual I know recently. He and his wife decided that his wife was going to stay home now and no longer work because of the high cost of daycare. He told me he now has to figure out a way to be able to cover all of the costs for his family based on his income alone. Many Americans like this simply do not have the extra money each month to put away in a retirement account. There are going to be a lot of everyday Americans that reach retirement age with no retirement savings or very little retirement savings. There are some financial experts who claim we have a retirement crisis right now. If that is true, how bad is this going to be decades from now? I suspect it is going to be far, far worse. The sad truth of the matter is many everyday Americans don't even understand how the lump sum of money that they have in their retirement account translates into income during their retirement years. Many have no idea how much money they may need. Now, there may be individuals who do understand how much money they may approximately need once they reach retirement age, but there is no way they can save to meet that goal. There's nothing they can do because they are tapped out financially right now. Their wages have not kept pace with inflation in recent years, and they are struggling just to survive right now. It's easy for retirement planners to tell individuals they will need 80% of their pre-retirement income in order to sustain their lifestyle during their retirement years. Unfortunately, many individuals will never be able to replace 80% of their pre-retirement income during their retirement years. Many will never be able to save enough money. In the decades to come, here is what I think could possibly happen. I think it's highly likely we will see an increase in homelessness here in the United States of America. I suspect we will also see multi-generational households living under one roof. If you drive through some neighborhoods right now, you may see a driveway completely full of vehicles and then other vehicles on the street. It's quite apparent there are a lot of different generations living in that particular home. I believe we will likely see a lot more of this moving forward. Many individuals will not be able to sustain themselves living alone. Many will rely on others to be able to split costs. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Please keep in mind, nothing in this video is retirement advice or financial advice. If you need advice of any kind, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I also want to thank all of my channel members. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.